Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalam ala Sayyidil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Today we shall speak about Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, his call and invitation, and the task given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. His time is about 1300 BC. He was from the progeny of Lawi, and his brother was Harun. He was born in Egypt, and at that time the family of Fir'aun was ruling the country of Egypt. And the Egyptians were made slaves. Bani Israel were made slaves by the Fir'aun. And he was so tyrant ruler. He was Taghut. He was Taghut, and he was trying to eliminate the entire race of Bani Israel. So as soon as a boy used to take birth, immediately he was killed by this tyrant regime of Fir'aun. يعني يستحيون نساءكم ويذبحون أبناءكم. They were killing all newborn boys, and they were leaving to live the baby girls. This was Fir'aun. This was Fir'aun. Bani Israel, they were very beautiful and handsome, so they were retaining the ladies and they were killing the men immediately after the birth. By a miracle, Musa alayhi salatu wassalam was saved after his birth, though the government officials were after him, but Allah has saved him and he became young. And then he migrated from Egypt to Madian, and he lived in Madian for about 10 years. And then he was made prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in Madian, when he was about 30 or 40, Allah spoke to him. Kallamallahu Musa takliman. Allah spoke to him. He was with his family and children and wife, and suddenly he saw a light, and he said, let me go towards the light and get some information or get some fire. But when he went there, there was a coal, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Moses, and Allah said, Ana akhtartuk. O Musa, I have chosen you. Fastami lima yuha. Listen carefully whatever is revealed to you. Be careful and listen. Fastami'. You see, then Allah introduces himself. Musa alayhi salatu wassalam is addressed by the Creator Allah. Allah talks to him. Allah talks to him. Innani ana Allah. Allah introduces himself. Indeed, I am Allah. Ana Allah. Innani ana Allah. Second point. La ilaha illa ana. There is no ilah but me. There is nobody sovereign other than me. I have the total powers. I can harm people. I can benefit people. I am ilah. And people can take my refuge. I can provide peace and tranquility. I am ilah with all powers. The third command. You see, number one, Innani ana Allah. I am Allah indeed. Number two, La ilaha illa ana. There is no ilah, there is no sovereign, there is no power, there is no deity to be obeyed except me. Number three, fa'budni. Therefore, worship me, obey me, make ibadah to me alone. Number 4, وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي. Establish prayer, salah, for my dhikr, for my remembrance, for my dhikr. أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي. You see, the concept, right concept of Tawheed, then comes salah. The first pillar of Islam is Tawheed. The second pillar of Islam is salah. The third pillar of Islam is zakah. Fourth is the sawm or the fasting. And the fifth pillar of Islam is hajj. It starts with Tawheed. Similarly here you find the same sequence. Innani ana Allah, la ilaha illa ana, fa'budni, worship me alone. Then comes وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي, and establish the prayer for my remembrance. And then the fourth point, Akhirah, the day of judgment, the hereafter. Inna sa'ata atiyatun, the day of judgment is coming. Inna sa'ata atiyatun, it is inevitable, it is certain, it has to occur. It has to occur. Akadu ukhfiha, that I shall hide it. Nobody knows the time of the day of judgment. No prophet knows, no creation knows, no human beings, no angels. Only Allah knows the time of the day of judgment. He has decided that the time and date shall be hidden, concealed. And what is the purpose of the day of judgment? The first it is said, Inna sa'ata atiyatun. Indeed, the day of judgment is certain. It shall come, it shall happen, it shall occur. The second thing, why? لِتُجْزَى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ بِمَا تَسْعَى. So that every soul is rewarded according to their activities, according to their deeds. Bima tas'a, because according to their strife and struggle. So the paradise has to be earned with good deeds. And if we don't do the good deeds, then the hellfire shall be the abode. So لِتُجْزَى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ بِمَا تَسْعَى. The purpose of the day of judgment is mentioned here. So what happened now? Fir'aun and Haman and Qarun and all the corps commanders and the tribal chiefs who were helping Fir'aun for his tyrant rule, they were all drowned. Musa alayhi salat was given 9 miracles by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, 9 miracles. And 2 most important miracles were, number 1, the stick, and number 2 was the white hand. When he was taking out from his arm, it was shining. It was a white hand, shining white hand. These were the 2 major signs. And there were other 7 also, the miracles that were given to Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. Musa alayhi salatu wassalam was told, Izhab ila Fir'aun, innahu tagha. Go to Fir'aun, challenge the political leadership, the dictator of the time, the taghut of the time, innahu tagha. Faqul, hallaka ila an tadakka. Tell Fir'aun, O Fir'aun, are you ready to accept the call and invitation of purification and growth? Hallaka ila an tadakka wa ahdiyaka ila rabbika fatakhsha. If you are ready to improve your personality and purify yourself and grow, then I am ready to guide you so that you can get khashya and the fear, and your heart may get tender, because right now your heart is very, very tough. You are killing people. You are trying to eliminate Bani Israel from the planet. Ethnic cleansing is your goal and objective. And فَأَرَاهُ الْآيَةَ الْكُبْرَى, the great miracle was shown to him. فَكَذَّبَ وَعَصَى, but Fir'aun denied, and he disobeyed Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. And فَأَخَذَهُ اللَّهُ نَكَالَ الْآخِرَةِ وَالْأُولَى, Allah has grabbed him, أَخَذَهُ اللَّهُ, in the punishment of this dunya and akhirah. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَعِبْرَةً لِمَنْ يَخْشَى. In this true story of killing of Fir'aun and his entire army with Haman is a lesson for every person who wants to develop khashiyah in his heart. So this was the call of Musa alayhi salatu wassalam in 1300 BC, that Allah alone should be worshipped. Innani ana Allah, indeed I am Allah. La ilaha illa ana, there is no ilah, sovereign except Him. Fa'budni, therefore worship me, obey me, follow my teachings. Wa aqimi salat li zikri, and pray for my remembrance. Please remember here that Musa alayhi salatu wassalam is not only calling towards Tawheed, not only calling towards Akhirah, but he was trying to save humanity from slavery, from the tyrant role of Fir'aun. And Fir'aun was told also to accept these teachings of purity and tazkiyah and growth. And Musa alayhi salatu wassalam was ready to guide him, but unfortunately he rejected and he was killed with his entire army. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.